Hello guys, my name is Melbay Guy, and today we are continuing with our programming sessions. So in the previous session, we learned how to build a software, a program, or a mini application that solves this guy. What is it? It's not coming. A mini application that calculates the area of a rectangle. In today's session, we'll be looking at a similar one. This time we want to write a mini application or program or software that calculates the area of a square. All right, of a square. And we already learned that before you start writing a program, you need to go through some planning stage. You need to plan. So first, you have to understand the problem. Take your time and understand the problem. Know what you are required to build. You get it? Understand the problem. Know the problem you want to solve. Take time and understand the problem. Two, you need to know the solution to the problem because we said the goal of programming is to teach the computer how to perform a particular task. So you are going to teach the computer how to solve the problem. So if you don't know how to solve the problem or you don't have a solution to the problem, how are you going to direct the computer on how to assist or provide the solution? So you have to know the solution. And the third one is requirements. You need to know the requirements of your software, what features will be on your software, how is your software going to behave. So over here we said the mini software we are going to build to solve this problem, the software will take input from users, evaluate, process, or perform operation on the inputs and display the result to the user. So that's our basic requirement. So here is more a bit detailed. So the problem, so we have to understand the problem. So we know that, okay, we want to build, and the problem is building area of a square calculator. This time it's a rectangle square calculator. And the solution, how do we find the area of a square? To find area of a square, of a square, we need to just multiply the length, the length, is the length and length. You see, a square is made up of two equal lengths. You get it? So the length and the breadth of let's say the square is the same. So we say the formula is L squared. So we don't multiply L. So to find the area of a square, what we do is the formula is the square of the length. So in actual sense, the formula is length times length, something like that. So to find the area of a square, we need to square, we need to square, we need to find the square of the length of one of the lengths, or we need to just multiply a length by another length. So what are the requirements of our software now? We need to take input. So the software that will calculate the area of the square must take input. So it must take length from a user, just a length, must evaluate it or perform operation on the value it has collected, the input, and has to display the result. So as part of this side, this side we said we need to understand the problem. So we can go online and understand more about the problem. We can learn about squares, area of a square. So this is how we can take our time and learn about squares. So in area of a square, we will learn how to find the area by counting squares. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but let's go here. Area of a square is side times side. Get it? The unit is side squared or something. So we have one side, we have one side, we have one side, we have one side. So the area is just one side times another side. So one side squared. So in a square, the length is equal to breadth. You get it? So in a rectangle, the area of a rectangle is length times breadth. But the area of a square, the length and the breadth of a square are the same. So we just say that length times length. So hence area of a square is equal to side times side. So we can see here and side times side. So let's see. So we can take time and length. So this is a square. So we have this side is 2 centimeters and this side is 2 centimeters. So to find the area of the square, we need to multiply this side and this side. And since they are the same, so we say maybe length squared, or we can say this length times this length, or this side times this side. You get it? So that's it. So we've learned something small. So you need to take your time and learn about squares, how to calculate this square. And now you need to, so when you learn, you find the solution as to this part, what we're talking about. You need to know the solution. So to find the area of a square, we need to find the square of the length, or we need to multiply one length by another length. So you just describe it over here, anyhow you want to say it. Okay, so that's it. So we know in our software, we know we have to take inputs. So we need to take the length from the user. We have to evaluate it and we have to display the result. So this time we don't need breadth because we are dealing with a square. So we need just one side because the breadth is the same as the length. So we just need one side. So we just need one length and we need to let the user enter the length of the square, just one part square. Get it, square. So enter the length of square. And we don't need a breadth. We don't have to take another input again. We just need this guy like that. So actually we need one variable, one memory to store the length. So we just take the length of the square, one length of the square and store it at the length. And the formula is length times what? Length. So it means we are going to do this length times length is the area of the square. Then we'll display the what? The memory code area, we display it. So this is how we build a program to calculate the square, the length, the area of a square. So we'll test it to see whether it's okay. So length times length, what is happening here? Over here, the user entered a value inside this variable length. So let's say the user entered 5. So here we have 5 here. And it's the same variable we've called here. So we have 5 here, we have 5 here. So anywhere we will mention the variable, we are actually referring to 5. You get it? So we can say we have a way of representing a square too. We can just write length and use some command to show that it's a square. We need to find a square. But this is best for now. So length times length. So remember there's a value inside. There's a memory. This length is here. It's the same thing here. Meaning we've repeated the values. So we have length. So if this is 5, this is 5. If this is 10, this is 10. You get it? So 10 times 10, it is 5, this is 5. So 5 times 5. That's how it works. So let's run it and see if it works well, then we can say that we are okay. So let's go to our program. Let's refresh the page so that we don't interfere with any old memory. So we need to paste this thing, and our alerts must be short, must be small letter E. So I need to correct it over here. I didn't correct it here. I need to correct it here. Okay. So let's run it and see. Enter the length of square. So we enter maybe 2. Then we get the result 4. So the length of a square, the area of a square with length 2 is 4. You get it? So it worked. So now let's test it on questions on this website. So find the area of a square of side 8 centimeters. So the side, one side or the length is 8 centimeters. So let's run the program again. So they said the length of the square is what? 8 centimeters. So let's see what we get. 64 centimeters squared. So, I said you can spice your program. We can do this. Watch here. I'm going to spice my program a bit. But we are not going to use it. I don't want to be adding so many things to our program. But we can make it look a bit realistic. So let's say we can do something like, don't learn this. It's just a way to make you people maybe see how things work. Okay, some of the things you can do. Centimeter squared. I don't see. You let's make it this. Let's make it as dummy as that. So enter the length of the square. We enter 8. So area is equal to 64 centimeters square. Let's go to this guy and see. So 64 square centimeter or centimeter square. So you get it. So you can always spice your code to be more realistic by adding certain things to the alert, but I don't want us to do that now. It's not the important part. We just want to see the result. We don't want to add extra information. So let's just keep it like this. Let's just keep it like this. So then let's go and solve a different question. Then number 2, find the area of a square of side 11. So the side is 11. So the length of one square is 11. So we type 11. Let's see. And the answer is 121. Let's go and see whether it's correct. So length times length, 11 times 11, and we have 121 square meters. So you see, it works and it's cool. Yeah, so now we can use our mini application to find the square of all these values. You get it? We can use it to find the square of all these values. Let's try VI 40 centimeters. So when we try VI 40 centimeters, we are supposed to get 1,600. Let's try it and see. So we want to find the area of a square. It's what was the value? VI value. VI 40 centimeters. Okay, 40 centimeters. Why is it? So the side or the length is 40 centimeters. Let's see what we get. 1,600. Yeah, we got that 1,600. So that's it. So this is how we solve we write a software or a mini program that calculates the square of what's the square of the area of a square. You get it? So as simple as that. So let's try one last example. Then we can end this week's session. So thanks for joining this class.